Welcome to the audiobook of New Social Studies, Grade 10. Unit 4, Lesson 1, Human Trafficking, a Social Problem. Page number 97. Introduction. We live in the society in an organized way. Various activities are performed in the society on the basis of established norms, values, tradition, beliefs, and modernization. In the course of development, the society faces many hindrances and difficulties like superstitions, malpractices, etc. Such hindrances and difficulties are called social problem. Due to suffering from social problem, some people involved in some antisocial activities as well. The antisocial activities are called social evils. Social problems and evils cause negative impact not only on the society but also on whole human civilization and act as obstacle in development. The social problems differ according to the time and place. Here we have a diagram of social problems such as dowry, ghumto, thaupadi, deuki, zhuma, human trafficking, untouchability, bullying, gender discrimination, child labor, corruption, racial discrimination, superstition, conservative tradition, child marriage, women violence. Human trafficking. Human trafficking is the trade of humans, most commonly for the purpose of sexual slavery, forced labor, or commercial sexual exploitation for the trafficker or others. It is a serious crime and a grave violation of human rights. Every year, thousands of men, women, and children fall into the hands of traffickers in their own countries and abroad. Almost every country in the world is affected by trafficking, whether as a country of origin, transit, or destination for victims. According to Human Trafficking and Transportation Control Act 2064, the acts considered as human trafficking, punishment to the offender and compensation to the victim are as given in the table below. Act considered as human trafficking: to sell or purchase a person for any purpose. Punishment to the offender: 20 years imprisonment and a fine of rupees 2 lakh for selling or buying a human being. Compensation. Compensation to the victim shall not be less than half of the fine levied as punishment to the offender. Now, the second act considered as human trafficking is to use someone into prostitution with or without any benefit. And punishment to the offender is 10 to 15 years of imprisonment and a fine of rupees 50,000 to 1 lakh for forcing into prostitution with or without financial benefit. Compensation to the victim shall not be less than half of the fine levied as punishment to the offender. Third act considered as human trafficking is to extract human organ except otherwise determined by law. Punishment to the offender is 10 years imprisonment and a fine of rupees 2 lakh to 5 lakh for extracting human organ except otherwise determined by law. Compensation is the same. Compensation to the victim shall not be less than half of the fine levied as punishment to the offender. Now, the fourth act considered as human trafficking is to go for in prostitution. Punishment to the offender: 1 to 3 months imprisonment and a fine of rupees 2,000 to 5,000 for a person engaged in prostitution. Compensation is the same. The traffickers use various means for human trafficking such as threat or use of force, coercion, abduction, fraud, deception, abuse of power or vulnerability, or giving payments or benefits. The spelling of coercion is COERCION. And spelling of vulnerability is VULNERABILITY. I will repeat, VULNERABILITY. Innocent, poor, women, children, illiterate, living in rural areas, suffering from domestic and social violence, etc., become the victim of human traffickers. They are trafficked for the purpose of forced labor, child labor, adoption, sexual and labor exploitation. In the past, only women used to be sold for sexual and labor exploitation, but the children are also being trafficked nowadays. Women and children are being used as domestic workers with low wage, workers in circus, sexual activities, and for begging work. Among various forms of human trafficking, some of them are discussed below. Girl trafficking. Number A. Girl trafficking is literally defined as the buying and selling of young girls for sex and labor exploitation. The smugglers allure innocent girls in different ways, such as providing a good job, delicious food, nice clothes, traveling to beautiful cities, or sending them for foreign employment, etc. The spelling of allure is ALLURE. Because of lack of awareness, being parentless, domestic violence, and extreme poverty, the girls and women are easily trapped in trafficking. In the past, girl trafficking was limited only to India, but it has extended its network even to Gulf countries, Korea, China, and Southeast Asian countries. Similarly, women are being sold by the brokers in Africa, Europe, and America in the name of foreign employment. Various government and non-government organizations are fighting against this evil practice in our country. Due to the active efforts of Mighty Nepal, Didi Bahini, Shakti Samuha, Nepal Police, Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, National Women Commission, District Development Committee, and intelligence agencies, the rate of girl trafficking to India has reduced, but the trafficking to the third countries in the name of foreign employment has increased. Girl trafficking is not only an illegal act but a vile crime, so it must be controlled. Girl trafficking can be controlled in the following ways. The girls or women herself should be conscious to be safe from it. Parents, guardians should take care of their daughter. The security body should be alert. The offenders should be given legal punishment. Community, government, and non-government organizations should work jointly against it with good coordination and cooperation. The access to education and public awareness should be increased. B. Child trafficking. Buying and selling of children for different purposes is called child trafficking. It is done with or without consent of family. Due to poverty, family tension, carelessness of guardians, etc., the children are distracted and lost, especially from Tarai region and urban areas. When the children fall into the trap of smugglers, they are taken far away from their family and sold. Then they are made to work in risky jobs, home, circus, and in any other disgusting work. The smugglers also use them for extracting organs and begging work. This is a criminal act. It should be controlled. It can be controlled by the following measures. Community, guardian, family members, and children themselves should be alert. The access to education and awareness should be increased. There should be regular surveillance in hotel and industries. Government and non-government organizations should work actively against it. The suffering children should be rescued and rehabilitated. Spelling of surveillance. surveillance. C. Human organ trafficking. Here we also have one Nepali statement. मानव र मानवको अमूल्य अङ्ग बेच्ने र बेचाउने महाअपराधी हुन्. तिनलाई सामाजिक बहिष्कार गरौँ. This is the trade of human organs for the purpose of transplantation. Nowadays, several parts of human body can be transplanted if they do not work or are damaged. In such case, the family members or other members are made donor and their organs are transplanted in the patient's body. If there is no family member or they are not ready to give their organs, such organs are bought from others. This kind of work is done through brokers. About 42% of the total transplanted human organs are trafficked illegally. Due to the modern living style, environmental pollution, the problem of kidney failure is rapidly increasing all over the world. There is a global need or demand for healthy body parts for transplantation. Organs which are commonly traded are liver, lung, cornea, and kidney. The human organ traffickers easily trap the poor and illiterate people. It is our duty to protect the people suffering from this problem and reduce the trade of human organs. The human organ trafficking can be controlled by the following measures: increasing health consciousness, making poverty alleviation program effective, being aware of the bad intention of extracting organ in the name of treatment, making the provision of caretaker for patient, and watching over those who are victim and those who are the culprits. Activities, page number 100. There may be a social problem in your society. What problem is that? What effects are created by that? Discuss with your guardians and find conclusion. Then present in class. This is activity number 1. Activity number 2. Problem makes a man matured. Do you agree with this statement? What lessons can be learned from such persons? Discuss. 3. We have seen and read the notice for missing children, but rarely any notice for found children. Where do such children go? Why don't they return? Discuss in class and note down the possible answers. 4. Nowadays, human smugglers are active in human transportation for human organ trafficking. Are they active in your area too? Make a field visit and prepare a report. 5. Visit a security body located nearby and discuss about the legal provisions made to control human trafficking. Prepare a report on it and present in the class. Exercise. Very short answer questions. 1. What do you understand by social problem? 2. Why human trafficking is considered as a social problem? 3. Why is human organ trafficking increasing nowadays? 4. What legal provision has been made for the compensation to the victim of human trafficking? 5. Mention any 2 organizations working to solve the problem of girl trafficking. 6. Prepare a slogan to create awareness against human trafficking. Short answer questions. Number 1. Human trafficking is a serious social problem. Explain. 2. Why is human trafficking increasing in our society? Analyze. 3. What are the reasons of girl trafficking? Mention. 4. How can human organ trafficking be controlled? Write the measures in points. 5. Nepali society faces human trafficking in various forms and for various purposes. What are the effects of human trafficking? 6. Mention the legal provision for the punishment to the offender of human trafficking and transportation. Community work. Meet a senior citizen of your community and discuss about the social problem of the past and present. Find the difference between them in terms of trend, type, and reasons of their difference. End of Unit 4, Lesson 1. This podcast is dedicated to visually impaired students. So if you know anybody who needs this book to listen and learn, please share the link, and also please subscribe the channel. Thank you and all the best.